Hello and welcome to a bonus episode of Dropping the Hammer with Daniel McFadin. I'm Daniel McFadin. On this bonus episode, I bring you an interview with the most recent winner of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, John Hunter Nemechek. The 23-year-old son of former NASCAR driver Joe Nemechek is the newest driver at Kyle Busch Motorsports in the number 4 Toyota. He made that move after one season in the Cup Series driving for Front Row Motorsports. Uh, Nemechek is now a 7-time winner in the Truck Series as he hopes to help Kyle Busch Motorsports rebuild its operation after a few middling years with drivers who just couldn't cut the expectations that Kyle Busch and Toyota expect from their team. It's a pretty good interview. It was the first time I've talked to John Hunter in a few years. We talk about how his relationship with Kyle Busch formed over the years and led to this opportunity with Kyle Busch Motorsports. Talk about his relationship with his dad and how he wants to be better than his dad. And we also talked about what his plans will be for the Bristol Dirt Race weekend when his wife is expected to give birth to their first child. So here's my interview with John Hunter Nemechek. How's it going?
Good, you?
I'm doing good for a Tuesday,
It's good.
but probably not as good as you. Uh,
Yeah,
so after Friday night, so
yeah, yeah. It
so
was definitely a good night. That is for sure.
so what are you doing on a Tuesday after a big win like that?
I actually just got home from the gym. So yep. Had a eventful morning. Taken one of our dogs to the vet for a checkup. Came back, went to the gym. Had to film some stuff at Toyota, and then worked out. And now home for some lunch, and then go to KBM this afternoon, and then back to doctor for baby appointment with Taylor.
Oh boy,
And then mountain bike this afternoon, and yeah, so
that's a packed day.
every day.
Is everything good with the dog?
Yeah, oh yeah, yep. She broke her leg
Oh,
about a year and a half ago.
oh man.
So they went in and took all of the plates and screws that they had put in out for it to heal probably about 2 months ago. So it's their final checkup to get the all clear that she's good to go. So,
How does a dog break their leg? Like what did that take?
so she's a Frenchie, and we have 5 dogs total. So um, our Newfoundland, who's 130 pounds, and her were playing one day, and the Frenchie took her front legs out from underneath of her, and it kind of power drove her in the ground
Oh,
and snapped her elbow. So yeah,
oh
it
man.
wasn't a pleasant sight. That is for sure.
Oh boy. So when's the due date on the new kid?
So Taylor is due March 27th.
Oh, very soon. Okay, very soon. Okay.
Kind of expecting any time at this point. So getting close.
That's that's Bristol weekend, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh boy. So what's the plan if race day comes and the baby's like, "Hello, I'm coming."
Well, we're hoping that she's going to come before
Okay.
same time. I feel like we have a plan in place. That's not public knowledge at this time, but I feel like we do have a backup plan just in case something were to happen.
So if it did happen race day, would you go with her instead of the race?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
For sure. I think that also depends on timing. If she has our baby early in the morning, then I'll still be there for the night race. But depending on timing and how everything works out, I think it's kind of circumstantial.
All right, man. So Friday, that was a big win for you. First time you'd won in over 2 years. So like 4 days later, what's your feeling about how everything took place Friday night?
Yeah. I think that it's very validating to know that this is what we came here for, right? We used the hashtag here for wins when I decided to leave the Cup Series and come back to the Truck Series and kind of partner up with Toyota and Kyle Busch Motorsports. So I feel like being able to get the first win out of the way so early. I mean, if it was up to me, I wish we would have won all the races by now, right? But we've been fast. We've been in contention every single week, and finally to be able to put a race together and not make any mistakes and just have an overall solid night on pit road, restarts, everything. It played into our favor for sure. And I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. I'm proud of everyone at Toyota and TRD and Kyle Busch Motorsports. And it's, I think the other thing is very validating knowing that Eric stepped back from the Cup Series with me and came back to the Truck Series, and we're just adding to his winning totals. So that definitely makes myself and him feel good as well.
Okay, so he was your crew chief in Cup last year?
He was not.
Okay.
He was Denny Hamlin's car chief last year.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right. So I'm wondering, during the pre-race show Friday night, they played an interview that you did, and in it, you said at least one reason why you wanted to do the whole thing with KBM is because you think you had a missed opportunity in the past, and you didn't really go into details.
Yeah.
I was wondering, could you expound about what you meant by what you think you had with a missed opportunity?
So I guess you can call it a missed opportunity, but at the same time, I wouldn't necessarily say missed opportunity, right? I believe in everything happens for a reason in the direction and the path that it takes you. But
yeah,
actually started my NASCAR career with Toyota in the Truck Series when I was 16 years old. We ran Toyota for, I think, 2 years total, and then ended up making the switch over to Chevrolet.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
Yep. So who knows what the path would have been if I would have stayed with Toyota during that time frame rather than our team switching over to Chevy.
Okay.
But so grateful for everything that Toyota and Chevrolet have done for me. I think I've been with all three manufacturers in the sport now.
Yeah, you have.
It's been nice to kind of create those relationships, and Chevrolet was really good to me as I was coming up through running the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, and they've had my back through it all, and they're still really good friends and someone that I at least would like to call friends for sure. While I feel like I have friends in every camp. So being able to kind of come back to Toyota after kind of starting my career in the Truck Series is really cool. We kind of utilize Kyle Busch Motorsports then as far as trying to figure out information and whatnot.
Okay.
We just wasn't involved in the KBM camp. So, yep.
So okay, I guess take me back to that. So I just looked it up while you're talking. So your first like 2 seasons or so were Toyota. So why was the shift to Chevrolet?
That was more, I think, of a business shift from our team owner at the time, who has now passed on. But we had a team owner that kind of created the team with my dad at the time, and his name was Sid Malden. Great guy. He owned SWM Gunrunner. They were on our truck for a long time, but he ended up having cancer and wanted to own a truck team or a NASCAR team. And he believed in myself and our team to be able to go out there and try and win races. And we were able to do so for him. But before he had passed away, and he got on an experimental type drug that prolonged his life from how long they had told him that he had to live. And
oh wow.
It was an amazing story. I'm so thankful for Sid and his wife, Donna Malden, for everything that they did for me and helped getting my career started in the NASCAR series ranks. And it wouldn't have been possible without them for sure.
You said you started like developing your relationship personally with Kyle Busch like within the last year or so. Like, can you like pinpoint when that actually like started to take place and could led to this?
Yeah, I definitely feel like Kyle. I mean, I feel like I grew up around Kyle in a sense.
Okay.
Like I was always racing late models. He was racing late models. And then racing him in the truck series and the Xfinity series. He made his first Busch start or Xfinity start with my dad, I believe, back when I was a little kid. So we would joke around kind of about that. And when he made that start, he was contracted under Hendrick Motorsports, I think, at that time.
Okay.
So I feel like we've always kind of been around each other in a sense. But for me to kind of grow as my own person and kind of, I guess, be able to establish those relationships in the sport and whatnot. I feel like that kind of took off over the last year or so, and just being able to ask him questions and talk to him about different things. And especially on the Cup side last year, I felt like for myself, it was very beneficial for me to kind of pick his brain a little bit. Now I don't know how much of all the information that he was giving me was true, just because I wasn't his band. But it's definitely neat to kind of continue that on and have him as our friend and as a boss and kind of as a mentor and an advisor now.
Okay. So last year with Front Row Motorsports, tell me what was the high point for you last year, and then tell me personally, like, what was the low point for you last year?
So I think that everyone has expectations for Front Row to kind of run probably between that 18th to 25th range every single week, right? So coming out of the gate really strong, we had a really strong run going. Or we finished 11th at Daytona in my first ever speedway race. We had a great kind of start to what was I guess Phoenix was next before COVID. We had a really good run there, had a lot of speed, didn't finish it off, had a lot of speed at Vegas. We ran, I think, top 15 most of the day, and kind of improved, right? And then COVID hit. And then we came back really strong out of the gate. No practice, no qualifying. Yeah. Ended up finishing 9th at Darlington, right?
Yeah.
One of the racetracks that we go to. I've only run there one time in an Xfinity car. So it was a really neat experience for myself to be able to go there and have a car that was capable of doing that and be fast. And then, so I feel like our high point was most of the time when we were running top 10, top 15 every single week. Like I felt like we had speed. I mean, it's a good thing when you're disappointed with finishing 19th in a sense, in a 1.5-mile race. So it's just one of those things that you got to continue to keep pushing and progressing. It's a lot of fun to be able to do that. And I definitely feel like that was really our high point of the year, was being able to kind of get back on track with no practice, no qualifying, and run really, really, really well against competitive teams. Now, on the other hand, at the end of that deal, I feel like we had weeks where I tore up race cars, maybe pushed a little bit over the limit of what we were capable of that weekend, and probably should have stepped back and kind of been a little bit more conservative. But I guess that's not my personality. I try and go get everything I possibly can out of that vehicle.
Yeah.
And try and get the best finish that we can. So I feel like there were points where we struggled, kind of as a team, and myself included, with different feelings and kind of what to do, and different things of that sort. So I feel like there were a few racetracks that we really, really struggled at, but most places we were pretty fast, which was really good.
So at what point in the season did the Kyle Busch Motorsports conversation first spring up? Like when was that first presented to you?
Well, towards the end of the year, we didn't know if I was going to be back at Front Row Motorsports or not. Kind of through the whole Cup playoffs and whatnot. I didn't know if I was gonna go back to Front Row. I didn't know if they were gonna have me back. At that point, I hadn't received a contract from them, so didn't really know where I stood. and kind of that sort. And when it came down to it, the whole conversation kind of started with Toyota first, and just kind of going through the motions and seeing kind of what was available at that point. And Kyle Busch was one of the ones that was open to it. And I think as you've heard, he said that he kind of wanted a veteran guy to come in and try kids every single week, in a sense, even though I feel like I'm still a kid at 23. So it was a really neat opportunity and something that I didn't feel like I could pass up. I'm not one to just be in the Cup Series to say that I'm a Cup Series regular. I'm a Cup Series driver. That's not who I am. I don't really care about the title. More or less, I want to win races. I want to be known as a winner and as a champion. And I felt like this was my best opportunity to do so at this time.
Okay. So what kind of conversations did you have with your dad around this period about what to do?
I had a couple of conversations with him. I didn't know exactly which way he was kind of thinking on going forward or not, just from the time standpoint and whatnot. And obviously I was still running a couple truck races a year for him, Nemco and whatnot. So it was definitely kind of one of those deals that you didn't know exactly how it was going to turn out or what his thoughts were going to be. But at the same time, I have to do what's best for me at this point as well. I still love our family-owned team. I love being a part of it. I've had great success there and whatnot, but it all comes down to continuing to try and win races and what is the best opportunity for me in my future to establish my career here in NASCAR.
So over the last 2 years, you were full-time in Xfinity and full-time in Cup. And like you said, doing some truck races here and there. And so when you're either watching the truck races from home or participating in the truck races, what stood out to you about the level of competition in the truck series last year? And what stood out to you about what the KBM trucks were doing? What was your outsider look of what the level they were at last year?
Yeah, I think that the KBM trucks were definitely fast last year. I mean, every time that you saw Kyle get in it, he was a contender.
Yeah.
I think he's only lost 2 truck races in like the last 2 years or something like that. So he's really fast every single week. And I feel like I could try and match him on what he was doing and whatnot. I feel like the team and the organization was good. I don't feel like that there was really much lacking there. I mean, Christian had multiple runner-up finishes, finished third a few times. He was fast pretty much every single week. He was close to winning a couple races as well. So I felt comfortable with how their equipment was and them being fast every single week. And it was just trying to put a race together to kind of be there at the end.
So through 3 races, can you explain maybe just how different a KBM truck is to a Nemco truck, which you won multiple races in a Nemco truck? Like, how different is it, the equipment you're working with as a driver in those 2 different trucks?
Well, at Nemco, we had all KBM chassis. We kind of did most of the things that I felt like they were doing. We hung our bodies in-house. That's something that KBM does as well. So that's different. Parts and pieces, I'm sure different things of that sort. But I feel like teams are similar. I'm not going to discredit anything from Nemco or anything.
No, but
that's for sure.
So even when you were driving the number 8 which was a Chevrolet, that was a KBM chassis?
Yes.
Oh wow, I did not know that. Okay, so how weird is it to, after just one after your rookie season in Cup, to then step into a mentor role in the truck series? That's got to be like whiplash in some way.
I wouldn't say whiplash. It's definitely different, right? From running full time in the Cup Series to coming back and running a full time truck series deal. I mean, it's two two different animals, two different schedules, two different series, right? But the level of competition is still up there. I feel like the truck series is really, really competitive and has been over the last few years. And so is the Cup series. I learned a lot running the Cup deal. And I feel like there's the reason that those guys are up there running every single week. I mean, those are the 40 best guys that we have in our sport right now at the top level.
So is there anything you did Friday night that you wouldn't have done prior to your experience in Cup that like you can point to and say, yeah, I did this specifically because of what I experienced last year?
For sure. Laps are everything. Experience is everything. Being able to kind of hone in on different experiences and learning from those and trying to soak up information like a sponge. I think that anyone would say when you go to Cup, I wish I would have known, or in life, right? 20 years down the road, I wish I would have known what I know now then. So yes.
Can you give me an example of something?
I can't disclose that information.
But you're 23, and I looked it up the other day. It's like your dad didn't make his first national NASCAR start until he was 25.
Yep.
So with everything what's it like for you putting your career, like comparing to what he experienced and accomplishing all you've done before he even got off the launching pad back in the day?
Yeah, it's crazy. I've always said that I want to be better than he was. I always joke with him about that, but I wouldn't be here without him, right?
Yeah.
He has so much knowledge and information and everything that he's given to me, and he sped up my learning curve as I was coming up through, kind of being young and dumb and stupid, I guess, in a sense, and learning different roles. And but he's taught me a lot. And I can't thank him enough for that. He made a lot of sacrifices to get me to this point in my career. I mean, we've done a lot with a little, that is for sure. But being able to kind of take that and kind of hone in on it, it makes you respect a lot of what has been done in the past, and how some of those guys came up through and whatnot, and how they learn different things. And it's really interesting to hear different stories from back then, right? How the times have changed. I mean, I got my first go-kart when I was 3.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy to see how young guys are starting now and different things of that sort. But I feel like a lot has been accomplished. Now it's time to just go win some more races and win some championships.
So describe to me, like, when you were at Front Row, that was a Ford team, but I don't think anyone's under the illusions that it has like the same involvement from Ford that like Stewart Haas and them have. So when you go from that to KBM, which is the flagship Toyota team in the truck series, what are you getting that maybe you weren't last year in your development and support as a driver?
I think it comes back to resources. Toyota is really good about kind of giving you what you need to succeed, and being able to kind of push you to be better, always striving for more, always wanting to win races. I feel like they are really caring about all 3 series for sure, from the truck series, the Xfinity series, and the Cup series. They value every series kind of the same, and they want to win no matter what. That's all they're about. So being able to kind of be in that Toyota family and be a part of a group of guys and a group of athletes, not only in the NASCAR world, but around the world, it makes me happy. It makes me smile. And I feel like what Toyota does and how they have aligned themselves in the sport, they've been successful and continue to be successful. And they just put a lot back into it. They want to win.
So you're off this weekend. Then you go to Atlanta. How you gonna spend your off week?
Working out, training, watching races, finishing some final prep stuff for baby that's due anytime.
All right. So you've won in Atlanta before. What are you expecting from next weekend's race?
Hopefully another win. I know Kyle's back in the truck at Atlanta.
Okay.
So hopefully we can have a good battle again and kind of see how the roles are played. But overall, excited for Atlanta. I love that racetrack. A lot of different characteristics. You can run so many different lines in a truck, and I've won there in the Truck Series. I've run good there, and pretty much everything else. So one of those mile and a half racetracks that I value.